All right, so for the folks who are just dropping on, hi everybody, my name's Heather Eck, and I'm an artist based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. I technically live in Holly Springs, but not a lot of people are familiar with that. And I've been a full-time working artist for about 5 years now. And prior to that, I worked in HR as an HR manager, and I'm a certified authentic leadership coach through the International Coaching Federation as well. But art is my passion, and art has been something that has helped me heal. When I left my corporate job back in 2019, officially, I was really just the kind of burnt out that no amount of sleep, no amount of vacation time, nothing was going to fix that. And so I started to kind of find my way back to myself through art and art making and through color. And so one of the interesting things about how I work is through intuiting color and understanding the meanings and the messages behind color and what it offers us in the way of healing. And so that's sort of my process, is to really tune in through meditation and to my intuition to create the work that I make. And as a healing arts practitioner, starting to offer that learning and experience to you so you can start to understand how color and art can help you process through different feelings. You have everything on the list. You just got two sizes of canvases. So I was wondering which one would be better. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So I like to work really big, but so the biggest caveat I would say for this class in particular is that this art does not need to be something that you share with anyone but yourself. It can be. I think there's a lot of art that we do when we're processing our feelings that can become powerful emotional pieces that you want to share with the rest of the world. But also it can be the kind of thing that after you're done, you say, you know what? I don't like how that turned out, or whoa, that was really hard for me to get out, and I just want to kind of tuck it away in a drawer. I have a little drawer over here that has pieces in there like that. So I think the biggest thing for all of us here is to know that you don't have to have an expectation of being a great art master in order to do this kind of work with art. So whatever we create today, we're going to create with no judgment. No judgment. We're going to try really hard not to judge what comes up for us or what we create or how we create or the feelings that we have while we're doing it. So I would just really would just want to check the chat real quick and see. Okay. So thank you all for joining. I would love to know, and you can drop this in the chat too, what made you say, yes, I want to show up today and I'm going to choose to participate in this class? I would love to know that. My intention for offering this, especially as a free 2-day retreat, was really to create an opportunity for people to process how they're feeling. I think there's a lot going on in the world. There's, very little time that we provide ourselves to just be in the moment of something and to just be present with our feelings and what's happening around us. And so I wanted to be able to share something with you where you could just take some time just for yourself. Hopefully you're in a place where it's kind of quiet. Maybe you want to light a candle. Maybe you want to get your favorite beverage and just kind of, offer yourself this sacred time just to go within. Elizabeth said, my art is my sanity. Yes, I believe that. Anna said she loves art, but don't do it enough. Yep. And you want to de-stress. Yeah, I totally get that. Before we officially get started, I wanted to share, I know sometimes playing music through a Zoom can be hard. So I have a playlist that you're welcome to listen to when we start creating. If you want some really calming, easy listening music that you can use while we go. So before we get started, again, I just want to remind everybody, you don't have to have any particular materials. The list that I shared was really just things that are nice to have if you've got it. If you don't, that's totally okay. Again, this is use what you have. Pencil and paper is totally fine. Okay, so thank you for sharing why you chose to be here. Do you have any special intentions for today? It would be great if you wanted to share those in the chat and just let me know. My intention for today is to relax. My intention for today is to just sit here and listen to somebody else talking to me for an hour. Or, my intention is to work on a piece that I've already started. It can be whatever it is that you want to work on. And you can share that in there too. So I believe that art is healing. I know for me personally, when I was always a really creative kid, and I was always sketching and drawing, and then I sort of moved away from that as I got older. And I studied art in college, but not to the degree that I thought it would allow me to earn an income when I got older. And so I just kind of moved away from it. And as I started to kind of let art back in, what I found was that it allowed me to let out a little bit of steam at a time. Whether I was working on a big painting or just sketching or drawing, the act of creating anything actually lowers your cortisol levels. It lowers that stress hormone in the body. And so the art retreat for us this week is intended to create that space where we can do that. So the first thing that I wanted to do, because I love color so much and because I can read color, is to pull a color card. I have this amazing deck by this author named Ina Siegel. It's called The Secret Language of Color. And if you've never heard of Ina Siegel, she also has a book called The Secret Language of the Body. And it's fantastic because the feelings or the emotions that we have, they can get stuck in the body. And if you experience pain, it can tell you something about what's happening in the body. And so then she wrote a book about color and how color can impact the body too. All right, so I'm seeing emotional healing through art making. Yes, I love that. Self-discovery, joy, relaxation, ground myself. Yes. So I pulled a card before the session to see what color I needed, and it was auburn, and auburn is a color of grounding. So yes, I sure can. It is Ina Siegel, and it is The Secret Language of the Body and of Color. They're two different things, but secret language of the body, secret language of color. Okay, so before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these, and we're going to pull a color card. And this deck is really special because it just tells you a little bit about the colors and how they're associated with the chakra system in our body. And the chakra system is what governs our physical, emotional, spiritual energies. And each color is associated with a chakra. And then that chakra tells us something about it. So we're going to focus on today on letting go, and then on Thursday on attracting, and we'll use the chakras for both. And I'll kind of help you with that a little bit. Okay, so the color that I'm going to pull for us, okay, feel this one. Ooh, it's called Sapphire. Let me see if you can see that. Sorry, my light is getting blocked a little bit, but it's called Sapphire. It's number 38, and it says regenerate your body. So I'm going to read that to us really quick. Sapphire. Sapphire, which is a blue color. It's really beautiful blue. It's my birthstone. Sapphire heals, purifies, and regenerates your body. It also has the ability to soothe your mind, calm your nerves, and release emotional pain. Well, that's kind of appropriate for today. As a nourishing color, sapphire dissolves disharmony and clears the blocked pathways to well-being, clearing your mind, balancing your emotions, and creating order in your life. Experiment with sapphire light to regenerate your body and bring back a sense of harmony. Oh, Nikki, it's your birthstone too. Yeah, me too. I'm a September baby, Virgo, through and through. Okay, so then it offers us a little meditation. So if you would like to, I invite you to take a deep breath, close your eyes, and breathe in healing sapphire light and allow yourself to focus on increasing your well-being. Rub your hands together, then place them next to each other. Imagine that in each palm, you're holding a sphere of sapphire energy. Allow yourself to feel these powerful spheres of energy and play with them, increasing their size and strength. Now put your hands on the part of the body that needs regeneration. I know you're all muted, and if you want to say this out loud, you can. Say, divine light, heal, purify, and regenerate. Divine light, heal, purify, and regenerate. And you can repeat this statement several times for about 2 minutes until you feel better. Visualize the sapphire energy moving through your body, cleansing it, regenerating it, and bringing back a sense of harmony. So I love that. That's such a perfect card today. Sapphire is also sort of the color of the third eye chakra, which is all about using our intuition and tuning into our connectedness to each other. So it's really a powerful color, I think, that came up for us because we're all here together today to use our intuition, which is awesome. Okay, so any questions before we get started? Yes, I can, absolutely. I'm going to also, in just a moment while we're working, I will post the links to the books and the deck so that you can find them. So after we complete this meditation and we get started with the art prompt, I'll type those in for you. Okay, so I wanted to start our session with a meditation because it's really important for us to just take the time to acknowledge that we're here in a sacred space at a sacred time together, and to offer ourselves the opportunity to calm our minds, to rest our bodies for a moment, and just prepare to be in the sacred space of creating. So I invite you now. I know that your cameras are off, and that's totally okay. If you want to keep them off, you can. Just to take a moment. And again, if you want to light a candle, or, I like to light a stick of Palo Santo or smudge my space with sage just to clear the energy. I invite you to do that. And then just take a moment, sit back in your chair or wherever you are. If you can, plant your feet on the ground. And then go ahead and close your eyes, and I'll walk you through a really brief meditation to help us connect to our heart center before we create. So go ahead and just start to get quiet. Feel the weight of your body in your chair or on your bed, wherever you are. Close your eyes. And if you want to, place your hands over your heart, because this is a really great time to just check in with your heart space. The heart is the bridge that connects the lower chakras to the upper chakras. And this color is typically associated, the heart chakra is associated with the colors green and pink. And so if you want to, for a moment, just imagine that with every breath you're bringing into your body, you're inviting this healing, loving green light that opens up your heart space and allows you to just feel into whatever emotion, feeling, thought is coming up. And this is a time where we don't want to judge what's coming up. We just want to notice it. And if you want to, you can bless it and send it up away into the sky. And it'll just stay up there, but it'll just kind of move like a cloud. And with every breath that you take in, just have a moment of gratitude that you offered yourself the time to be here today. And that you chose yourself. And there's so much happening in the world around us. Sometimes it's hard to just choose ourselves, make time for ourselves. And that act is so loving. It's an act of unconditional love. Just continue breathing. And if you want to now, imagine this beautiful golden white light that's emanating from your heart space. And with every breath, you see this light growing brighter and brighter, filling the room with this golden white light. Maybe you see the white light filling the room that you're sitting in. Maybe this white light grows even bigger and fills your home. Maybe on your next breath, you see this golden white light filling the neighborhood that you live in. And you see it stretching across the county or the state or the country. Maybe you imagine that that white light emanating from your heart space is connected to all of ours here on this call, that it's all connected. And in this moment, we're offering each other unconditional love and acceptance. Just notice what's coming up for you. Start to think about the emails you have to answer or the calls you have to make. Just say, okay, and just notice it. Don't judge it. Just continue breathing and imagine that white light running from the top of your head down your forehead and your cheeks. See that white light filling your throat space, dripping down your shoulders and your arms into your heart space, lighting every organ in your body up with healing, regenerative light. Down your kidneys, your liver, your intestines, your body, down your hips, your legs, your knees, your shins and your calves and your feet. And watch that white light go through the soles of your feet, down, down into the earth. Watching that light just travel all the way down to the center of the earth and connecting to the crystalline heart of Mother Earth. And however you see that crystalline heart, just remember what color you see. Maybe it's a clear quartz, maybe it's a rose quartz, maybe it's sapphire. Just notice it and wrap those rays of light around the crystalline heart of Earth so you're grounded and rooted, strongly protected and stable. And when you feel perfectly grounded, allow that white light to travel back up through the earth, through the layers of the ground and the crust, through the grass and the trees, up back into the soles of your feet, traveling back up the length of your body in reverse. Your shins and your calves and your knees, your thighs and your hips and your stomach, your heart, your throat, your third eye, forehead, crown of your head, and up to the heavens. And when you feel complete in that process, take a deep breath. Start to become aware of your body, the weight of your body in your chair or your bed. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back to our space. Okay. Good. How did that make you feel? I have a friend who does that meditation for us, and I always feel like I'm floating afterwards, but in a good way. And I'd love to know if that's a meditation that you want to continue to do. It's really quick, but it's nice because it just helps you feel grounded and allows you to just sort of be in the moment for yourself. Yeah, and yes, I'll type up the meditation words for you for sure. Okay, well, let's get started on the art making. I know that you're probably itching for that. Whatever materials you have in front of you, doesn't matter if you have everything on that list or you've got, a pencil and some paper. The first exercise we're going to start with is all about letting go. And this exercise is really intended for you to just get present in your mind, body, and spirit and ask yourself, what's really weighing me down? Letting go is a process of releasing things that no longer serve us. They no longer support us. And it can be everything from, like scrolling on TikTok to an experience that you had, or the thoughts, the pervasive thoughts that come up, or people or relationships. But they're the things that when you think about them, they kind of just make your body feel, or restrictive. The letting go part is about releasing the restriction that we feel on ourselves. And the attraction part is allowing the things in that help us feel expansive. So today we're going to focus on the letting go. And on Thursday, we're going to move into attracting what we want to have and cultivating what we want. And you're probably going to start to think about that today as you're doing this exercise. And that's totally okay. I think it's only natural that when you're thinking about the things you no longer want, it frees up space to think about what you want. So if you've got your materials ready, we're going to just take a moment and in whatever way you want to do this, if you have clay and you want to make a shape, great. If you have paint and you want to paint it, if you just have pen and paper and you want to write it, that's okay. But I want you to take a second and just close your eyes and visualize what it is that you want to let go of, and then write it down and draw it. It can be a list. It could be that you start with drawing yourself in the middle of a paper, and then you write the words around it. This is an opportunity for you to just open your eyes and, you know, let go of any restriction that you have and draw it out. And this is a time where you really don't want to hold back. You just kind of want to let it flow out of you. So I hope that that is something that you offer yourself in this moment. I'm going to stop talking. I think this is a time for you to just take a moment and start to draw and sketch. Maybe you already have. And I'm going to set a 10-minute timer and then I'll check in, but allow you the space to just write or draw or paint or sketch or scratch, or even cut out pictures from a magazine if you've got magazines. Whatever you want to do, this is your chance to just write out the essence, capture the essence of what it is that you want to release. Are there any questions before we dive in? Just wait for a moment in the chat. Okay, I'm going to stay on the camera. I'll be here with you. I'm going to set the timer for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to be doing my own exercise here as well. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to hop off mute or to comment in the chat, and I'd be happy to chat with you. Okay, let's dive in. Oh, and again, I shared that playlist up there if you would like to listen to it. It is a Spotify playlist that should open right up for you. I'm going to paste it again. If you want to listen to it. Hey everyone, that was about 10 minutes. Just let me know in the comments if you want an additional few minutes to work on your art pieces for letting go or your lists. And I'm happy to share a few more minutes. We had a couple of new folks joining. I'm sure they'd appreciate a couple extra minutes if you want it. So just let me know in the comments there. And I was listening to maybe 3 more minutes. Okay, no problem. And Kate and Misty, I'm just going to drop the playlist in the chat that I shared with everyone at the start of class that you can listen to while you're working. So I'll set a timer for a couple more minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, that was another 3 minutes. So if you want to take a moment and just wrap up what you're working on, then we'll move on to the next part of this exercise. In the chat, I shared with you a document for the heart centering meditation that we started the class with, and I also am sharing the links to the books and the card deck that I referenced when we started. So those links are there for you too. I would love if you're ready or if anybody wants to share, um, you're welcome to turn on your camera, or you're welcome to unmute yourself and share what that experience was like for you. What, if anything, physically or emotionally came up for you as you were doing that exercise. Or you can share it in the chat. Did it feel good? Did it feel hard? Did anything surprise you? Did you fall asleep after the meditation? Okay, no problem if you don't want to share. I totally understand it. If you have any questions or anything that came up while you're working and you want to message me quietly or privately, you're welcome to do that too. I'm going to share some questions in the chat. So for the next part of our letting go exercise, this is sort of a moment when you're ready to sort of take a moment and connect with what it is that you wrote down, or connect with your feelings about it. This can be a time where you kind of go, wow, I didn't know all of that was in there. As I was kind of writing down things on my own, there were things that were coming up for me that I thought, oh gosh, I'm going to need to explore this a little bit more. And so the questions that I'm going to share are inviting you to sort of process some of that. So Elizabeth, thank you for sharing. I was surprised how easy it was for me to get in touch of what I needed to let go of. I think the meditation opened that up for me. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, those heart opener meditations are really nice because it just puts you in a space of feeling safe enough um, to just be honest. And a lot of the therapeutic art exercises that we do are about that, like giving ourselves permission to just be honest about how we're feeling about something, um, and to be the naturally creative people that we are. So thank you for sharing that, Elizabeth. Anyone else have anything to share? Okay, for the next part of this, then I'm going to drop these questions down here, and I'm going to set another timer for a few minutes. In this part, you can draw or sketch, you can paint over what you painted. You can journal. I think journaling is a really wonderful way to sort of get in touch with those feelings. Um, yes, yep. Sometimes images capture the feeling that words can't. 100% agree. And that's where understanding symbols and colors really comes in handy, because depending on what colors you used, it might be telling you something about yourself. So let me start over. If anybody wants to share in the comments particular color that they were drawn to, or a particular symbol, maybe not necessarily what you wanted to let go of, but maybe what that symbolized for you. I'm happy to sort of help you look at what that means. But the questions I'm going to share in here too are, what does it represent for you? What does that sketch or that painting or that drawing or that writing represent for you? What do the lines and shapes tell you about your feelings or thoughts regarding what you want to let go of? You can journal about that experience, you can paint about it, draw about it. And when you're ready, the last part of this is to just offer yourself a moment of gratitude for exploring your emotions and letting go of what no longer serves you. The other really cool thing about the letting go exercise is that you get to choose. Do you want to keep your sketch or your drawing as a visual reminder of what you're letting go of? Or you can destroy it. You can rip it up. If you're in a safe space and you've done this before, you can burn it. You can run water over it. You could bury it in the ground, whatever it is. There are ways that you can sort of let go of the thing that represents what you want to let go of. And that's a truly symbolic way of moving past something. So I'm going to post this in the chat, and I'm going to set a timer for another maybe 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, so that you can sort of start to process what it is that you created. And then I'll regroup with you, and we can kind of close out with another quick meditation of gratitude. Any questions before I share this? It's coming your way. We'll start with 5 minutes and then I'll check in. Okay, that was about 5 minutes. Just raise your hand if you want more time, or let me know in the comments if you need another couple minutes. 6-minute answer. Done. Okay, good. Thanks, Elizabeth. So what was that experience like for you? Just the act of writing it down. Okay, you can finish up later. Yeah, sometimes this is going to take a little bit longer just to give yourself some space to really sit with your feelings. But let me know in the comments what that felt like. Was it easy? Was it uncomfortable? And you don't have to share too much, but what made it feel that way? I'd love to understand what your experience was with that. Did you feel any resistance to writing out what they represented for you? Or did it give you the freedom to say, this is what I really want to let go of. I don't want this to be a part of my experience anymore. And you can send them directly to me if you'd like. It was enlightening, but a little uncomfortable learning I'm blocking my own freedom from suffering. Oh my gosh, that's powerful. Yeah, I think sometimes we are our own blockers to things. Relief, being reminded of what overcome already and letting go of looking back. Oh, that's beautiful. A little bit of resistance. Yeah, that's normal. It's totally normal, especially if this is your first time actually writing it out or drawing it out. And sometimes even just a simple act of putting pencil to paper or what have you is enough at first to just sort of be courageous enough to write it down. Thank you for sharing that. In the same way that we did the letting go process here, we're going to work on what we want to invite in on Thursday. What do we want to manifest in our lives? We, turning our thoughts from I lack to I want to create, or I already have, and sitting in that energy of, power, sitting in that energy of I can do this, and I, want to create this feeling in my life. That's really powerful stuff. I know that it is getting close to the hour. And again, I wanted just to spend an hour with you and not take up too much of your time, because I know it's early in some places and late in some places. But I would love to know if you would like to share it with me. What is one thing that helped you during this workshop, or one thing that surprised you, or one thing that you're going to take away from today? And you can come on mute, off mute, and tell me, or you can drop it in the comments there. You could define what kinds of emotions you'd like to let go of. That's great. Yeah, that's really great. There's a wheel of emotions that my friend shared with me. I'll ask her if I can share it with you all. And if so, it's really nice because it sort of breaks down those big emotions like anger, sadness, frustration into bigger, or like more specific emotions. It's really, really helpful when you kind of dive into that. Giving yourself permission to look forward. Oh, I love that. And it's okay to look at parts of myself that feel kind of icky. Yeah, that's really powerful. Personal power, power to change, ability to heal. Yeah, that's great. Elizabeth, did you use any yellow in your work today? I'm asking because the color yellow is associated with the solar plexus chakra, which is all about our sense of personal power and about confidence.
I put yellow completely Yellow is completely around my whole picture, like it's the outside of my picture. So I did not know that until you just told me. But yeah, it encircled my whole picture with yellow.
That's pretty
That's pretty
incredible.
incredible. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you use a particular color or you wear a particular color or decorate your home with it, you're inviting the energy of that color in. So it's awesome that you intuitively used a color that's symbolic of personal power. And that's pretty incredible. Um, I think you're looking, Misty, I would be curious what color you used, or all of you, what colors you used, because they're all associated with emotions, with physical aspects of our body. And it can be really powerful to understand more about it. So if you want to share what colors you used in the chat, I can tell you a little bit about what they might be associating for you. Red flowers. Oh my gosh, I love that. So red is the color of the root chakra, which is located at the base of our spines. And that color is the one, or that chakra is the one that helps us feel connected and supported and offers us a sense of stability. So flowers, a couple of things about flowers that they're cyclical, right? They kind of die off and then they bloom, but they're seasonal in that they just inherently know what to do. So red flowers could mean that you're entering a stage where you're just sort of allowing nature to kind of take its course, or you're looking for some sense of stability, structure, connection to family or tribe. It's really powerful. I was sketching trees, and trees are really symbolic of grounding. And that card that I pulled at the start was about grounding. So the universe is clearly telling me to get grounded, and to stay grounded, which makes sense for me right now. Brown, orange, light blue, red, purple, and then the yellow. Okay, awesome. So that brown's about being grounded. It is definitely about feeling rooted into the earth, but also that's about your root chakra. Orange is about creativity and expression and how we connect to our relationship with ourselves, but also with other people. Light blue can be associated with the throat chakra, which is about speaking your truth, about communicating authentically and allowing yourself to be heard and understood. Red is about the root. Purple, which is what I'm wearing today, is about our connection to the divine and to each other. And that is the crown chakra. That is the color that I wear most often, especially when I'm teaching, because I want to stay connected to a higher power and stay connected to a higher level of information that's coming through. And then yellow, that's about your sense of self, confidence, personal power, willpower, authenticity. It's awesome. Love it. Love, love, love it. Yeah, there's so much that our drawings and our paintings can tell us about ourselves when we give ourselves permission to really look into them. And that's where spending some extra time with them is really helpful. So that's what I would encourage you to do. I think, this is really your time, right? Like your time to offer yourself the freedom to explore and express. And this is going to stay with you, over the next couple of days. You might start to kind of think about, wow, what I wrote that down. What's that really mean for me? And it can be a little bit scary if it's something big you want to let go of, like a job or a relationship, or it can be a little bit exciting, like, oh my gosh, the one thing holding me back is this. And if I can just get over that, I can move forward. So I hope that over the next couple of days, while you're thinking about all of this, you give yourself some grace and you give yourself permission to just feel and move through that. But I want to thank you all so much for being here today and for being open and courageous to share what you're working on, and what that meant for you, and for just showing up, just giving yourself permission to be here today is really powerful. So this is, like I said, a recorded session, and I will post it in my Color Club group on Facebook. And I'm going to drop and I'll share it in the folder that I shared the materials list in. I'll drop it in that folder, so if you want to access it again, you can. And then I'm going to share my socials. So if you want to follow along and see what else I'm working on, I'd love that. And I hope that you come back on Thursday because we're going to work on some really fun stuff about manifesting on Thursday too. And I'm going to drop one more link in here. Or I should have had those ready to go. So those are my socials if you want to follow. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, sarcastic remarks, anything, I'm open. Send me an email. I think you've got my email address, but if not, I'll drop it in here. And so in the chat today, I also shared a couple things. The meditation, I wrote that out for you while you were working. So you have a PDF of that. And in that are the 2 links to the book and the cards that I mentioned, and that Spotify playlist. So hopefully that's something you can come back to. Give yourself some space to play. But that's it for me, everybody. I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining. And again, if you have any questions, I'm here. Hope you have a wonderful day and take care. Bye.